So for introductions, I'm responsible for the cold storage, 3PL, and food and beverage business at Royal 4. For those who don't know me, although I think I recognize most of the names up here, I've been with Royal 4 for 8 or 9 years. And today I'm going to be just the host, and I want to introduce you to Judy Gordon, who is head of partnership for Gather AI.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks for having me, Royal 4 team. Yes, my name is Judy Gordon. I'm the head of partnerships at Gather AI. I've worked for Gather AI for about 2.5 years. And for those of you who don't know what we do, we provide inventory intelligence solutions for your warehouse. And I look forward to sharing more about that during the webinar.
Thanks, Judy. So why are we doing this? Most of these presentations in the past that you've seen have all been about Royal 4, discussing Royal 4 products or support changes and things like that. Over the past few months, we've actually been kind of working behind the scenes, enhancing the overall, what we call the ecosystem of what we believe our customers may need in total, kind of in an endeavor to really help you operate more efficiently and effectively. To that end, we've actually kind of been interviewing literally hundreds of potential different companies, ones that we feel will bring some kind of added value to you, our customers. So the intent really is to help you guide you to the kind of best in practice technologies that we see, that we run into. Some of these we've gained from our customers, just knowing what else they've added along with Wise, what they've interfaced to. And some of them are ones that have people that have come to us, have know what we do. But some we've reached out where we think there's either holes in the overall ecosystem of what we can provide versus what everything is needed. So you'll see going forward that we'll be doing a lot more of these partner presentations in addition to the WISE presentations or ERP or YARD presentations you've seen in the past. Kind of an example of what this ecosystem looks like. This one is particularly designed for our cold storage, 3PL, and food and beverage business. There's a completely different one, obviously, for automotive and tires, and then a different one for our government and nonprofit business. But we've identified different ERPs that we interface to and are working with, different transportation management systems. As you can see, it's a real variety of different pieces, from consulting firms to EDI alternatives, real basic hardware, labels, even building facilities. So there's just a variety of different partners we've run into and that are working with us that we think would be helpful to you, our customer base. So as for today's topic, really inventory accuracy. And inventory accuracy is probably a pretty old and dull topic. However, we think there's really good reasons to, other than just obviously always trying to continuously improve, there's an amazing amount of things that are happening because of AI. And we're seeing that a lot of them can really up the game when it comes to inventory accuracy. for years we've gotten a lot better, but we're struggling at small percentage gains, and AI, I think you'll see from this presentation is starting to really up that to where you can get incredibly accurate. You can save an incredible amount in labor costs and things like that. So that's why we're starting with this particular partner, Gather AI. Really a whole new dimension. As Judy mentioned, it's drone powered inventory counting using AI. And we think it's a pretty natural fit for integration into Wise. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Judy.
Thanks, Rick. And thanks again for having us. I really appreciate it. And nice to meet all of you. Happy to make this interactive. So if you have questions and you want to put it in the chat, just go ahead and do that as I go along. I want to make sure I cover any questions you might have. So let's start. I don't know how many of you have heard of us, have heard of Gather AI. Can you go to the next slide, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh, okay. So today we're going to be talking about how we can help transform your operations with our autonomous drones, our MHE Vision solution, and our AI agents. So how Gather AI plus solutions plus Wise can really help optimize your operations. Next slide.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, so just a little bit about us. We were founded in 2018 by the team behind the first autonomous helicopter, and we grew basically out of Carnegie Mellon Robotics Institute. We have current customers in 3PLs, retail distribution, manufacturing, food and beverage, and air cargo. And we currently have several customers with freezers. And we're headquartered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And our vision is to digitize the world with AI insights. What does that mean? It means that, and I'll share kind of our solutions, but basically we have solutions that work in the warehouse to help you to make sure that what's happening in the warehouse matches what's in Wise. So to make sure that all your transactions, all your inventory is accurate and Wise is 100% up to date. Next slide. So like I said, we're delivering results across multiple 3PLs, retailers, food and beverage distributors, and manufacturers. And this is just some of the companies where enable us to share their names. But we're in some large 3PLs like NFI, Geodis, and DSV, and some smaller, more mid-sized ones like Langham & Taylor and Barrett. We're in some manufacturing facilities like Cooper Lighting and Axon, DPI Specialty Foods. We're in some retailers, most of which we can't name, but one is the Army Air Force Exchange. And then we have Emirates and Donata. So we have a wide spectrum of customers working in a wide variety of warehouses today. So our first solution was autonomous inventory drones. And I'm guessing if you've heard of us, this is how you think of us. We have drones that fly in the warehouse taking pictures of inventory locations. And the drones we think of as data capture. So we buy off-the-shelf drones. These drones operate in freezers down to -20. We're taking pictures of these locations where our AI, this is really where our value is, we believe, interprets those images. So we're able to read text, read barcodes, count cases. We're able to do all kinds of things with the interpretation of that image. We then match what we're reading there with what's in Wise, and we'll report out any matches, any exceptions, and we can also detect any empties. All this has helped our customers to reduce their inventory errors significantly. So for our customers, like I said, AI is really offering real-time inventory visibility, improve accuracy, and ultimately what we're helping our customers do is improve on-time in full shipments. So like I said, we can read barcodes, we can detect storage utilization, we can do volume and case counts, we can read handwriting, read UPC codes. For some of our customers, our food and beverage customers, will read the license plate and the UPC code to make sure that the license plate was put on the right product, for example. So there's all kinds of things we can do because we're reading the picture. Are there any questions before I go on? I have a couple of case studies just to share. Okay. So my first case study is Geodis. Geodis, like most 3PLs, had an SLA with their customer. They had to count once a quarter, and they were struggling to make it. Not that they didn't make it, they always made it, but they had to add a lot of staff at the end of the quarter to make their number. And so with our solution, they had higher inventory accuracy, leading to fewer write-offs and better customer service. What did that mean for them? They're able to cycle count 5 times faster and really move from 4 cycle counters down to a half. They're easily able to find missing pallets because we have all the data in our dashboard. They could search and easily find missing pallets instead of walking through the warehouse with binoculars. I just saw Javier's question. What do we mean with wise? Um, and again, they're able to reallocate cycle counting labor and material handling equipment from doing cycle counting to doing other things. The last thing, and this is really important to many 3PLs, is that they had 40% fewer complaints. So they could actually measure and see that they were able to they were able to improve their inventory accuracy, improve their shipments, and therefore better serve their customer. The next example is a shoe example. So this is the first one was a full pallet facility with some case pick. In this case, this is really a case pick operation. It's basically 500,000 pairs of shoes. And I know this is unique, but I use this example just to show you that we work in all kinds of storage environments. And in this case, we're taking pictures of each location. Each location holds 30 to 40 pairs of shoes. And we're matching what's there with what's in the WMS and report out any misses. And because there's so much inventory and because each box looks the same, they've seen a tremendous increase in inventory accuracy and therefore they're much better able to serve their customer. So they increased their inventory accuracy to almost 100%. Therefore they were able to eliminate their physical inventory, reducing their cost per scan, reallocate 6 cycle counters and saving 250,000 in MHE. And this is kind of the biggest thing, is that they were able to decrease their inventory shrink from 2% to 0 and decrease skip picks. So inventory accuracy improves, and it has all these downstream effects because they're better able to serve their customers. So just to kind of summarize our solution, a lot of people think about our solution as saving cycle count labor and material handling equipment, and we do that. But we also have knock-on benefits in terms of better serving the customer. So NFI saw 6 times productivity with 1 drone. Geodis, like I said, had 40% reduction in customer complaints. 3PL saw a 63% reduction in skip picks. And then we have a third 3PL where they're pallet emergencies. And we define a pallet emergencies as the truck is there and where the heck is the pallet? 10 to 20 down to 1 to 2 on a bad day. So not only are we able to improve productivity, but we're also able to have downstream effects in terms of better serving the customer, doing things in a more accurate way, and saving labor on reconciliation. So, like I said, our solution really relies on the accuracy of interpreting the data, the pictures. And so we are hardware agnostic, and we are moving that solution to MHE. So what we're doing with MHE is that we're putting cameras on forklifts along with real-time location information on forklifts. And you're going to be able to track MHE and inventory movement and transactions throughout the warehouse. So what does that mean? Let's say you have directed put away that sent to your operator. The operator picks up the pallet and puts it in the wrong location. We're going to either tell the operator, put it in the right location and verify that, or we're going to fix it in the WMS afterwards if the operator wants us to do that. We'll also do the same thing with, so we'll do all of this with shipping, put away, picking, and receiving, picking, put away, picking, and shipping. So throughout the life cycle of the pallet, we can also detect and report obstacles. And basic bottom line is with our solution, you'll have total visibility throughout, pallet visibility throughout the warehouse. So the next slide is just a picture, I think. Or is this where? Okay. Oh, there it is. It's just a picture of a little bit of the UI and kind of what it does. So in this case, we're able to know that the forklift is supposed to be picking a different pallet. We know that we're comparing to what's in the WMS. We're seeing that it's at the wrong place and it's picking the wrong pallet. We're going to give the operator the option to override, in which case we'll report directly back into WISE, or the operator then should go pick the right pallet and all that information will be verified in the WMS. And we think about this as a scannerless operation. So instead of having your operator scan when they pick, scan when they put away, now all this can be done without scanners. And the beauty of this is that we can then take all this data that we have. We have now all this data about the forklifts, where they are, what's been picked, what's been put away, what's been shipped, what's been received. And we're able to, in combination with WISE plus other platforms, give you all kinds of data and analytics using AI. So one example is that we have a live view of all your forklifts, so you can see kind of where they are. And this is actually our warehouse in Pittsburgh today. You can see all of your transactions. And
We need to
actually,
share, you'll need to share your screen. I'll stop sharing and you can share.
okay, it says I'm screen sharing.
Oh, oh, you are now?
I am now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
Okay. So we're taking all this information. Here's the live view of our warehouse in Pittsburgh. So you can see that we have a forklift ready to go in Pittsburgh. You can see transactions. So this transaction was misplaced. You can see the path that the operator took. You can see where it was picked up and where it was supposed to be dropped off. Here's the source, here's the destination. And we actually have video that kind of lets you kind of see what's happening. The video also can be helpful if there's damage or other things. We also give you information on operator productivity. So here's Brendan, here's all the activities that he's been doing. And we can tell you kind of how has his productivity been. This is how long it actually took him, and this is how long it's expected, and this is what he was doing. So you can see that Brendan's been busy doing replenishment. If that's where he's supposed to be, that's great. And if it's not, that's something you can take a look at. Additionally, we have a facility overview, so you can see kind of the utilization. We can tell you stock level trends. We can give you information on slow moving inventories and transaction accuracy. So there's all kinds of information we're able to give you, and then give you some insights on, hey, here's some product you might want to move closer. Here's your utilization. Here's all kinds of data, and we can suggest improvements you can make based on what we actually see plus what's in WISE. And the last thing we have is a natural language chat. So you can use natural language to query the information that we have. Does anyone want to give me a question? Rick, you want to give me a question?
Oh. Let's see. What's the capacity of aisle A?
let's see. So no data was bound for our query. So we're not going to hallucinate. We're going to tell you we have it or we don't have it. What about what's the capacity of our warehouse? How's
Okay.
that? So not only are we going to kind of give you an answer, I'll show you. We have this is our capacity. You can do a detailed analysis of the capacity, the business implications, any recommendations. We give you the SQL query. So if you want to see kind of how you would query your database to understand, how to get this data, and then we give you the data. So there's a lot of information you get from our natural language queries. Okay. Any questions or anything anyone want to see? No questions?
I have a question, more so around the drones for inventory. Would that be something are these manually operated or is it system operated? So say I want to do a cycle count of all, let's call it fifth level racks in a specific aisle. Do I send that to that unit and it does it autonomously, or is it something that someone manually goes out and searches so you don't have to pull a pallet down?
So with our solution, we have two options. One option, the drone always flies autonomously. So basically you tell it where to fly and the drone flies. We have two options. One is where we place it, on an operator would place it on the ground, the drone would fly, and the operator will change the battery when the battery is low. But we also have an option where there's an automated battery swapper. So in that case, you set the battery, you set the drone in the zone where you want it to fly. The drone flies. When it needs to get a new battery, it comes back to kind of the station. The battery is swapped, and then the drone continues on. And no matter what, the drone flies autonomously.
Okay, so Wise would drive it if I say I set up a cycle count and I want to cycle count a specific area, then it's going to gather all the data itself and report it back into the system, or is it dumping it into a separate database that I'm
Oh, thank you
cross-referencing?
for that question. Yes. No, we have a dashboard ourselves that you have to review. And the reason why we have that is we want a customer to basically be able to, we want to make sure that we don't want you to send data back to Wise that's not correct. So instead of today, when you're cycle counting, let's say you're 95% accurate, the cycle counters are focused on 5%. Rick, let me just share, I can share our dashboard so you can see.
Yep.
Now you can see in our dashboard, this is just kind of an aggregation of flights from our various customers. But now you can see in our dashboard, anything that's black is a match, anything that's yellow is a confirmed empty, and anything that's red is a challenge, is a problem. You can also look at a list of exceptions. And basically all you have to do is review the exceptions to say, okay, this was supposed to be empty. Now I see that this is that this license plate is here, and I can tell the system to add it to the WMS.
So in live operations where you're receiving and shipping all day, 24/7, is this dynamically update what should be in there? Or is this a snapshot of whenever you launch it?
Yeah, so we have the capability. We actually recommend that you set it up, that you have download. We typically integrate with our WMSs using a CSV file. And typically our customers will set it up to send us active files every 10 minutes or before there's a flight. So to your point, what's the point if we know if inventory is changing and we do inventory and things have been changed. So it's very easy to set it up to automatically send, and I mean, Rick could probably talk to this better than I can, but we either integrate directly or you set up a CSV file to automatically send on a regular basis, and that makes sure that what we're seeing with the drone is what's actually there. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, here, okay. How many crashes the drone has per lapse of time? Was it managed from a human pilot? Oh, Javier asked that question. So just to be clear, the drone flies autonomously. There's no human pilot. The
To
drone
his
flies.
point, does it have crash detection though, in case you
It
had a
does.
forklift in the same aisle? Yeah.
It does. We do not recommend you have a forklift in the same aisle. But we do have crash detection. That is one thing. We do recommend you block off the aisle. So just to summarize, we're delivering the insights you need for fast decision making to maximize your order fulfillment performance quickly with an ROI, and I should say that typically our ROI is well less than 6 months. We offer, depending on your use case and what you're looking for, autonomous inventory drones, MHE vision, and then our AI-enabled insights. Thank you.
So hopefully you found that beneficial and thought-provoking. Again, we put a lot of time and effort into enhancing the partnerships, enhancing our overall ecosystem. And this one we thought, especially for those that are doing cold storage, but we thought this would be a great potential add-on to the system. If you do have any questions or want to see more detailed demos, you can reach out to me or any of your customer client success managers or to Judy directly. But thank you for attending. And unless there's any more questions, we'll wrap it up.
Thank you again, Royal 4 team, for having me, and I'm happy to answer any questions.